Hi guys, Paul Pluta channel. Today I'm doing a paid review. This is quite an interesting one. It's an interesting one. This here is a paid review C11, and it's for Kyle. Before I start there, quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing my Rolex Milgauss, my Milgauss. And this here is an interesting question. It's a bit of a stumper because it kind of stumps you when you're looking at this here. And basically, let's go into this. This is a cheap Lange. Let's have a look at this. Dear Mr. Pluta, I was wondering if you could give me your opinion on this vintage ladies Lange currently for sale. I'll put a link below. Based on the photos provided in the listing, does it look on the level? Also, what are your thoughts on the asking price? I'm a little confused given the year the watch was said to have been made in 1977. It was my understanding the Soviets had nationalized the economy and it was later resurrected in the 90s. He's talking about Lange, the company. The movement shown in the photos and listing is stamped Swiss, and the case material is listed as silver. Would the East Germans or the Russians have tolerated such mild decadence? Or were watches still being made under the Lange name elsewhere in the West during the 70s? He's considering buying it for his girlfriend who speaks fluent German and has traces of traces her family history back to Germany. But that being said, it's about 900 US. I'd love your 2 cents. Okay, so basically, I think the best way to describe this piece here is, I've seen this a few times with ladies. I've seen it a lot more with Cartier, and there's a lot of tricky things here. Is this a Lange that we know and love today? The luxury brand Lange itself. And let's have a look here. That's what it looks like. So it's kind of a oval sort of watch, and it says A Lange. It's got a German stamp there. It's, if you look really closely at these pics here, you'll actually see it's not that well finished. It's not that well finished at all. It's got a mechanical Swiss generic movement in it. So the question is, what the fuck is it? Is it a real Lange or is it not a Lange? What is it? Look, it's not a Lange that we know today. The truth is, after World War II, the Lange fell into the nasty communist hands, and it did not get resurrected until the 90s, when a consortium put it back together. Many places contributed intellectual property to help Lange. ArchieLuxury, for example, gave an 8-day movement to them. There's a number on the Lange 1. That's ArchieLuxury help on that there. Many watchmakers, AP helped. Many companies helped to resurrect this German company. So what is this exactly? Well, this was made in a time between the companies, and I don't know whether they had the rights to actually produce these things, but it's like many things. They may have made this type of piece, which is a lesser. It's certainly not a Lange that we recognize today as being a Lange. So I think it's just really much a play on the namesake. Is it worth buying? Look, whether they had the legal rights to use the Lange name or not is irrelevant. It's not Lange quality. It really is garbage. It's just a generic Swiss movement. If it didn't have Lange on it, we wouldn't be interested. That's kind of where it sits. It's made of silver, so that in itself should be a fucking warning sign. Silver is the metal of cheapskates. See, silver is something that Rolex used to use silver. Did you know that? The original cushion cases. I've had a Rolex cushion case in silver. Silver was easier to work with. Steel was a bitch. When steel came out originally, it was more expensive than gold because it was so hard to machine. You needed really good instruments to cut and shape steel. So basically, this Lange here, it's got a number of flaws in this description. It says the basic info, year 1969, and then in the caliber it says the caliber.
Take my eyes on me, my thoughts on me just grow and grow and grow. I am the best there is. I think that I'm so grand, so grand.
These watches themselves, are they real Lange? No. They may have had the right to use the name. Let's say, let's just go with this for a bit. Say they had the rights to use the name. They're still not a recognized real Lange. Cheap. Silver was never a luxury metal in the 60s or 70s, that's for sure. It was very much a second-rate precious metal. The fact it's got a Swiss movement. Lange was always proudly German, so it's like a lot of these nomos, you know, different releases. Some of these semi-German brands using Swiss movements. Yeah. So what can I say there? Is it a real Lange? No, it's not a Lange that you'd recognize. It's not going to be recognized. You go to the Lange boutique with that, they wouldn't have a clue what it is. It hasn't got the true kudos of a Lange. Crazy price considering. The only thing saving that watch there from the schmalter is the fact it says Lange on it. I've seen this a lot with Cartier. Cartier is incredibly tricky for ladies' pieces in the sense that there were three branches of Cartier: Cartier Paris, Cartier London, Cartier New York. At one stage, there were three separate entities. And some of them produced a cheaper Cartier tank before the musty Cartier, and there were also knockoffs. So you see these vintagey silver Cartier ladies, and you think, fuck, is it a Cartier or is it not a Cartier? And believe you me, high-end watchmaking, you really want precious metal, number one. Precious metal. You want a beautiful movement. If it's a Lange, you need a German movement. If it's Cartier, you'd have a Swiss movement. And you'd have impeccable Swiss movement. For example, I had a Cartier New York, which was a Cartier tank for the New York Cartier store, signed Cartier New York in the back. It used an Audemars Piguet movement, an AP movement, a manual wind AP movement. So no expense spared. This piece of silver sort of shit, it's just playing on the Lange name. Is it a real Lange as such? I don't think so. I don't think so. Even if they had the rights to use the name, what is it? Just a piece of fucking poorly finished silver shit. If it wasn't for the fact it said Lange, it would be a $200 watch. That's basically it. For your money, let's have a look here. For your money, 900 US smackaroonies. 900 US dollars there. What are you looking at? Let's have a look. What would I buy for 900 US? I'd probably buy a pre-owned Omega Constellation in steel. Quartz in steel. Modern but usable. The women folk, not many people like mechanical watches. Let me just say that. They much prefer quartz. They prefer quartz. They can just set it and they just take it out when they want to wear it and wear it. If you want to go a little bit more upmarket, maybe a steel Rolex. Steel Rolex, probably 2,000 for a no date. Nice kind of steel Rolex, an Oyster Perpetual ladies. 3 US for a Datejust. So that's where I'd be going. Buying a cheap Lange, it's not the Lange that we know today. So my best advice to you is stay the fuck away. If it is too cheap, if it seems to be certainly a bargain, just be very careful, because these dealers are smarter than you. If it was a bargain, they wouldn't be selling it so cheap. It's cheap for a fucking good reason. So my advice is avoid. I'm ArchieLuxury. This has been a paid review. Tell me what you guys think. Remember, like, subscribe, tell your fuckhead friends, and don't be afraid to put a few nasty comments down below. I'm ArchieLuxury. Tell me what you fuckaroonies think of that.